Coming up next at 5, we are live in Grimes County with the latest on the raging wildfire. Hundreds have been forced to evacuate and the firefight continues. How you can help and what to do if your home is threatened by flames. Team coverage begins now on News 3 at 5.
Now on KBTX, your news leader. This is News 3 at 5.
And thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of News 3 at 5. We are live here in Grimes County at High Point Elementary. This is the staging area for the firefighters battling the Dyer Mill fire. Now, this fire continues to spread and it continues to consume more acres. We want to give you the latest information that we're getting on this wildfire. Now, here's what we know. We know that 20 fire departments are battling this blaze. We have video that's been coming in throughout the day, and we want to show you that. We've been told that 5,800 acres have burned at this time. It is only 35% contained. Over 30 homes have been lost in the fire that is stretching into its third day. And just to bring you up to date, this is not the only fire that is burning in the Brazos Valley. Just up the road in Walker County, that Midway fire has scorched 3,000 acres. But here's the good news. Thankfully, it is about 80% contained. Now, back here in Grimes County, as firefighters work to contain this blaze, residents are being evacuated. In fact, 1,800 residents have been forced to leave their homes, and we're told that more evacuations are underway. We're going to go live to News 3's Nicole Morton, and Nicole has actually talked to some residents who were forced to leave their homes. And Nicole, some residents are waiting till the very last minute to actually leave.
Exactly right, Meredith. As of last check, the massive wildfire that is ripping through Grimes County is only 35% contained. Many residents have already been forced to evacuate, yet there are a handful of others who say they're waiting till the very last minute to hit the road. More than 48 hours after this massive wildfire ignited, thick black smoke continues to reign over the Grimes County skyline.
We felt the fire on our skin. My mom got out before.
Maribel Salazar and her entire family live in the eye of the fire.
I live right on 302 and 304 where the fire started. We saw it start, and we were all waiting for firemen.
The Salazar family is just one of many in the community of Whitehall who were being forced to evacuate their homes after the wildfire ignited Sunday afternoon.
Right now, homeless. Right now, we're like, we don't know what to do. We don't know where to start.
For the last 24 hours, Salazar and her family have been gathering anything they could pack up.
I stayed back there with my husband, my daughter, while we could get anything we could, close, important documents.
They even rescued this Chihuahua.
He was left behind. He's a survivor.
Not taking any chances, her family is hitting the road to Houston, but many others are staying behind.
That smoke can suffocate people, not just burn. I mean, you can suffocate yourself. Just get out.
This pasture off of Farm to Market Road 362 has become a hot spot for spectators. Many sitting, watching, and waiting while praying for a miracle.
We know that the house is still there, but we don't know if it's gonna be there tomorrow.
Now, Meredith, we've learned that 20 to 30 homes in the Dogwood Trail subdivision are being evacuated due to heavy winds. Now, Sheriff Sowell says that it's very important to understand for those that are being urged to evacuate to do so in an effort to keep everyone out of harm's way. Meredith?
I want to remind you that if you are one of those residents who has been evacuated, you can go to the Navasota High School to seek shelter. You can also go on to KBTX.com to find all of the resources that are available to you. As you can see, it is still breezy out here. It's not as bad as yesterday, but this wind is making it hard for these firefighters to battle this blaze. We're going to go now to Bob French, who is standing by live in the studio. And Bob, we could get some relief overnight?
Yes, Meredith, several things could happen. First of all, we still expect the winds to die down even further, although right now, as you can see on this map, we still have winds of around 15 miles per hour, up to 17 miles per hour in Conroe and Caldwell, and still blowing out of the south. So there is still enough wind out there to spread that fire. Temperature-wise, not quite as hot as yesterday, but it is still a scorcher with readings generally in the upper 90s and heat index readings as high as 108. Here's the better news, though, at least tentatively. There are rain chances in the forecast. We've got a big cluster of severe thunderstorms in East Texas right right now northeast of Lufkin, but some of those are building back into Trinity County, and there is a possibility that they could build over the rest of the Brazos Valley through the course of the evening. Unfortunately, there's also a threat for severe weather, and a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for our northeastern counties. We'll have a little more on that coming up in a few minutes, but at least there's a chance of rain in the forecast, so that along with lighter winds should help things out a little bit. We've got our rain chances up to 40% later tonight and tomorrow, and the possibility that some areas could receive up to around an inch of rain. Of course, when you have thunderstorms, they will drop locally heavy rains very quickly in a few locales. So come on rain, but unfortunately with the heat and the instability in the atmosphere, also a threat for damaging winds or large hail. So a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for our northern and northeastern counties. Those of you in Milam, Robertson, Leon, Houston, and Trinity counties under a severe thunderstorm watch until, until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. So again, the possibility of rain, but also the possibility of severe weather, and we'll continue to monitor this situation. Of course, we'll have more on that for you coming up in just a little bit. But the better news is the winds should continue to die down, and if the winds die down and we can get some widespread rains, hopefully that will give the firefighters the best help that they could possibly get. So again, we'll have more on that cluster of severe thunderstorms up to our northeast and what that may do to affect us coming up in just a few minutes. Meredith?
Okay, thanks so much, Bob. We are definitely hoping for some relief, and it has been a lot nicer that the temperatures are not as hot as yesterday. Now, we want to go over to Clay Falls. The Forest Service's State Operations Center is in College Station. They are monitoring this fire and every other wildfire that is burning across the state. Clay Falls is there live. Clay, what is the latest?
Unfortunately, there's still so much work to be done. If you take a look behind me right now, this is the hub center for the Texas Forest Service, not only for here in our local region, but throughout the state. These folks behind me right now are working 14 to 16-hour shifts, diligently trying to organize logistics to work on assisting with putting out these fires. Yesterday alone, the Texas Forest Service responded to 24 new fires, charring more than 48,000 acres. Now, keep in mind, with a state as large as Texas, some of these fires are more than 600 miles apart, fighting fires from up in the Panhandle all the way to East Texas. Now, we've learned a little bit more about the Dyer Mill fire. At last check, it's around 35% contained, and today they had 9 aircraft from helicopters to tankers coming in to put that fire out. Now, coming up tonight at 6, we'll have a live interview with one of the Texas Forest Service officials to get the latest details on those efforts. Reporting live in College Station, Clay Falls, News 3.
Okay, thanks so much, Clay. Well, you know, these fires are consuming a lot of acres, but they're consuming a lot of resources as well. As you know, volunteer fire departments are already strapped, and now they're working 24/7 to contain this blaze. Also, for those that have evacuated, most of them have left everything that they own behind. News 3's Alex Villarreal has been following this story. She joins us live with the latest. Alex.
Thanks, Meredith. The outpouring of community support is amazing. And to be honest, you really wouldn't believe what some people are willing to donate. The First Baptist Church of Navasota is full. On a Tuesday, volunteers are filling the church's recreation area with donations for victims of the wildfires.
Not quite sure how it happens, but I know that American Red Cross, they can't take so many donations, and I think we were one of the bigger facilities.
Local residents and even fire departments are dropping off whatever they can in an effort to help those in need. From bedding to clothing and shoes, they've got it all. Even a wedding dress.
Halloween costumes. We don't need Halloween costumes.
Wedding dresses.
Wedding dresses, yes, we don't need any of those items.
She recommends asking yourself, what would I need if my house just burned down and I got out as quickly as possible?
Toiletries are a great thing. Small children's items, diapers, formula, things like that they may run out of.
These folks are really stressing for people to come by and pick up whatever supplies they need. And as for donations, they're still in need of men's clothes and women's casual clothes. Meredith?
Okay, thanks so much, Alex. And if you would like to donate, just log on to KBTX.com and you can find a list of locations where you can bring some of those items that are desperately needed. And we want to remind you there are many ways that you can stay up to date with the information coming in on this wildfire. You can find a live chat ongoing with our news team featuring the latest information on these fires and with reports from our crews at these fires and the latest from our newsroom. And also online you can find an interactive map of the fire areas and evacuation zones and how you can help those affected by the fires. It is all live online at kbtx.com. And still ahead on News 3 at 5, how you can make an evacuation plan if a fire ever threatens your home and how the smoke out here could be affecting your health. Live team coverage continues right now on News 3 at 5. And we are live here again in Grimes County as our team coverage continues on this raging wildfire in Grimes County. Now we want to let you know that again we're at High Point Elementary, and to tell you a little bit more about this staging area, it's where firefighters can come here, they can rehydrate, they can take a break because these hot and dry conditions really can take a toll on your body. And not only the firefighters, but also for the folks living in this area. Now, smoke can be a health risk for those living here. According to the Centers for Disease Control, smoke can cause a number of ailments, coughing and a scratching throat. It can irritate your sinuses. It can cause chest pain and headaches. And you can have stinging eyes and a running nose. And it can make your asthma so much worse. And if you have heart or even lung disease, this can actually worsen your symptoms. Even children and older adults can really experience some of these symptoms much worse than a healthy individual. If you are experiencing any of these conditions, you are asked to seek medical attention. Now we want to go back to Bob, who says we could be seeing some relief, and for these firefighters battling this fire, that would definitely be a welcome sight. Bob?
Yes, Meredith, it would be a blessing, and there are some signs now that we could see some rain, in fact, possibly some big thunderstorms. We'll have a look at the radar and the rest of the forecast in just a few.
News 3 weather and the Pinpoint Forecast team brought to you by the Bank and Trust. Local bank, local bankers. And now, local weather.
Hey, the clouds are starting to look a little more promising, getting a little dark gray and a little vertical height to them. That's really good news. Taking a live camera view from one of our SAM cams, Live Eye Network camera in Huntsville, where it's 98 degrees, plenty of heat at the surface to create some extra instability and hopefully going to lead to some rain. And there is rain showing on radar. In fact, just to the northeast of Huntsville up in Trinity County, starting to get a good many showers. This is on the southwestern edge of a big cluster of thunderstorms from Lufkin up toward Nacogdoches, where there is a tornado warning in effect right now. The red polygon you see, that very strong thunderstorm cell is moving toward the southeast, but starting to back build toward Lufkin and even toward Palestine, and that means that severe thunderstorms are possible in our northeastern counties, where a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for the evening, including Milam, Robertson, Leon, Houston, and Trinity counties. And we'll have to watch the motion of these storms, because if they back build farther, we could see severe weather in other parts of the Brazos Valley as well. And we've certainly got the heat to add to those storms. 99 our current temperature, humidity 38%, winds from the south at 15 miles per hour. There's a weak cold front that is stalled out in north central Texas. It produced some strong storms overnight last night that produced nearly 3 inches of rain in the Metroplex. Outflow boundary from that cluster of thunderstorms is what's refiring here in East Texas. And again, that could give us rain here in the Brazos Valley. Lows tonight in the upper 70s with highs tomorrow probably a little lower. An increase in clouds and rain chances should hold highs in the mid-90s tomorrow. And the Pinpoint Forecast shows more rain, whether it's from that outflow boundary or moisture working in from the Gulf. We expect a good chance of rain for tomorrow and still a slight chance lingering on Thursday. And the Pinpoint Forecast is indicating as much as an inch of rain in our eastern counties, only around 1/4 of an inch or so over the Brazos Valley. But any rain would certainly help. 30% chance overnight tonight, 40% for tomorrow with the high in the mid-90s. Hopefully we'll get it because rain chances start to drop on Thursday and then disappear on Friday as we have highs back in the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. In fact, the computer models really even show 100 back by early next week, but I didn't have the heart to put it back in the forecast. So we'll hold highs in the upper 90s and hope that in the meantime, over the next 24 hours, we can get some good rains. Meredith, it is a little bit hopeful, so we're watching that possibility.
Right, Bob. You are exactly right, and you said it perfectly earlier that rain would be a blessing, especially for these firefighters. We have to all think about them who are out there in this hot and dry conditions battling these blazes. Our hearts really go out to them and all the victims of these fires. Now, when we come back, we're going to find out what's happening after hours around town, plus what you need to know to make sure you are prepared if a fire broke out where you live. We'll discuss making an evacuation plan and getting together a grab-and-go kit. Live team coverage of the Brazos Valley wildfires continues next here on News 3. You know, with these recent wildfires, it has many of us thinking, what if we were in this situation? How would we protect our home and our family? And what would we grab first if we were forced to leave? Well, here are some tips on how to protect your home, and it just may save your home. First, you want to turn off the gas. The simple act can prevent an explosion. Close every door and window to make the house as airtight as possible, and also to keep any embers from getting inside. You want to clear the brush and trim the trees on your property so that there is no flammable vegetation within 100 feet of your house. That clearance could keep a wildfire at bay. And you want to place connected garden hoses at all sides of your home for emergency use. And we've been seeing that happening here. People watering down their homes before they are forced to leave, hoping that they will save their home. Now, you know, it is very difficult to think about what you would do in that situation, what you would grab. Experts suggest forming a grab-and-go kit, making this, planning ahead, and discussing this with your family. What would you take if you were forced to leave? Now, here are some ideas for that grab-and-go kit. First, you want to agree on an evacuation plan that includes what to do if you get separated from your family and where you'll go in case of an evacuation. Now, for your grab-and-go kit, here are some suggestions. You want to make sure every member of your family has clothing for at least 3 days. You want to pack your medicine, the important medicine, and your personal hygiene items, copies of important documents, and those family heirlooms that you just can't live without. Plus, you can also consider a safe deposit box or a fireproof home safe to keep your valuables protected. Now, our coverage will continue in just a moment on these fires burning in Grimes County. But coming up next, that big game that everybody is talking about, the College World Series. It's win and survive or lose and go home for the Texas A&M baseball team. Cody Coyle joins us with sports after the break.
Sports is presented by Allen Honda, corner of Southwest Parkway and Highway 6. Allen's got your Honda. From the KBTX Sports Center, News 3 Sports starts now.
300 Division I college baseball teams began play when the season started in the winter. All of them played games in the spring, but Texas A&M, one of only 7 teams left as we move into summer. They hope to make it more than a day into the summer season, win or go home against the Cal Golden Bears. No score till the 4th inning, and that's when Adam Smith smashes his 3rd homer of the postseason. It's a solo shot out to left. The Aggies take a 1-0 lead. That lead doesn't last very long. Cal answers in the top of the 5th. Derek Campbell, the single to center, 2-run score. The second gets in when Cray Bratson misplays the ball. The Golden Bears take a 2-1 lead. Cal scores 3 in the 5th, 3 more in the 6th, and that's all she wrote for the Ags. Bratson goes down swinging to end it. To end it, the Aggies fall 7-3 to be eliminated from the College World Series.
Omaha, appreciate the city of Omaha, state of Nebraska. It was a great experience. Sure wish we could stay longer, but you know, very proud of the seniors that led us. They did an amazing job from start to finish, earned everything they got, and some of them are going to get to move on and play. Others going to move on and be successful young men, husbands, fathers, and friends.
Aggies in the season 47-22. We'll have much more coming up tonight at 6. We're back to wrap things up after the break.
And that is all our time for this special edition of News 3 at 5. Our live team coverage of the Brazos Valley wildfires continues on News 3 at 6. We will see you then.